Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer and that is really distracting. I pushed a button and so now my camera's like, there's a square in your eye. There's a square. Oh, now it's on this eye. So I'm going to try not to look at myself, which I don't generally do when I'm filming anyway. I usually look right there at you. But I'm like, the square is literally... It's so distracting. It's so distracting. Welcome to Cinnamon Stitches. Like I said, I'm your yarn host Jennifer, and I did not grab the things I was supposed to show you. Today is Monday, and on this channel, we show our Monday makes, which means the things that we have made in the past 7 days, give or take, and 2 of them are back there. Actually, I don't think this one counts as it has been done in the past 7 days. I will grab them and bring them closer. So let me do that. I think that will work, provided I don't knock anybody over. Hang on, let me rotate. All right, there we go. To the dog. There are people across the street digging a ditch. And Scarlett has just now noticed, even though they have been there all day. Now, on Monday, as I was saying, I show you what I've been doing for the past 7 days. Scarlett! And I talk about my life update for the past 7 days. My life has not been real exciting the past 7 days. My door's also not closed all the way because Ponchito is out there. Because we are the only ones home, is me and the dogs. And Mr. Cinnamon is at Walmart picking up one of my prescriptions that I've been out of for over a week. And it's not a vital prescription, don't worry about it. It's not anything serious. And Juju is at work and Lucas is with his dad. And so that's where we're at today. That's where we're at today. I am feeling a little bit brain fuzzy, because I was just concentrating really hard on learning a new project, and so my brain is still like thinking about that. I will show that to you in just a moment, but I don't think I have a blog update per se to tell you, other than this week was really busy, and it was busy because I was crocheting again, but I was trying to do the tutorial for this, and oh, and the snake. Where's the snake? Whoop. So, in the past, I think the tutorial for the snake was this week, right? That was Tuesday. Let me look at my channel, because I'm at the point now, I don't even know what I've done, when I've done it, where I've done it, how I've done it. Alright, videos, view all. Yes, the snake was 4 days ago. So, that means I have another snake to grab. Because I don't remember if I showed you that on Monday or not. Did I show you guys the ice cream snake? I think I did. So we don't need to show you the snakes again. Okay, so this week, in the past 7 days, although you have seen the snakes, I've talked about, I think I've shown you the snakes. They were a tutorial on Tuesday. So I made some snakes. But now that I'm thinking back, I really do think I showed you that last week. I did. I made 2 snakes, right? I showed you that. We're good. Moving on. Like I said, my brain is like really foggy. Crocheted the first pineapple poncho. The very first one. Going the wrong direction. There's the pineapple. And hopefully you can see that. I made this one. This is made out of the Roving Divigation from Lion Brand. And this is in the color Taffy, which is green, pink, and white. And then this one was the one I made in the tutorial, which I did notice. This one's more ruffly, and I think it's because this yarn is thicker, because I did the same exact stitch count. I did make a mistake on one of the rows, but that should not have caused it to be more ruffly. So I really think the yarn makes a difference on how ruffly it's going to be or not. So for the blue one, I used Pound of Love in the color Not very. Pastel green. My eyesight is also real bad today. And these aren't my good glasses, so. Pastel green, which is not green at all. It's kind of a aqua blue color. I used about a half of a pound of yarn for this. I did not finish it. I did not add the thick banding on the bottom. And I had quite a few people like, how do I make it longer? Okay, the point of this is so that it is half lace and half solid. If you want to make it longer, just keep going in the round with the solid part. That is the design idea of the poncho. And in order for me to tell you how to make the pineapples go further down, I would have to rewrite the entire pattern, and I'm not doing that. So, if you want it to be longer, the whole point of this design is that half is lace and half is solid. So just make this part thicker. It will work. I don't actually like it as a longer poncho because once you start getting past the elbow, you start getting tangled up in things. And even though you might be thinking you're trying to hide your body more, you're actually drawing more attention to the body parts that you don't like. And I like the shorter ponchos because I can still freely move my arms around, which is vital. And so that's why my ponchos are not down to my wrists, because I don't like the way that feels. I don't like not being able to freely move my arms up and around without having to pull. You know what I'm saying? I designed my ponchos as a I don't even know what the word is. I designed them so that they accentuate your outfit, not like hide in it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that is the instinct of a lot of people, is to hide beneath big baggy clothes. And that's not, I don't believe that. I don't hide anything. Like, people know that I'm fat, so I don't try to hide behind big giant long garments. And I think it's really pretty at like waist length, because for me, elbow length is just beneath my breasts. This is like, it's right at that level because my boobs kind of saggy, you know. And so for me, that is a good length. I can move my arms, I don't get over hot. And so I like it that length. Now, could I have went and added more rows of the solid? I could have, but I really like the way this one looks, and I like that they are different. This one has the thicker ribbing, this one does not. So, Pound of Love, Lion Brand Roving Divigation. I have a half a ball left over. I'm going to say I love this yarn way more than this yarn. A couple reasons. This was softer and more flowy, and it's also variegated. And the way that my brain works is I can't do all one color. It bores me to tears, actually, and I get very stressed out and overwhelmed working in just one color. My brain is like, I know this is an ADHD thing, but my brain is bored, and so it's like fighting myself to do the project. So if you have an ADHD brain like that, I would suggest this yarn over that yarn. But if you're a normal person and that doesn't bother you at all to work in all one color, it's beautiful in all one color. My brain, I was fighting it the whole way. I was fighting it, and I was getting angry with it because my brain was just not with it. I'm going to move a couple of things over to the side because I don't want those to get messed up. Now, in between working this, I was irritated enough, and irritated is the proper word, that I needed to take a break because this tutorial took 2 days to film. It was 2 days. And it's not even including the third day where I had to edit and upload it. Okay. So last week, when I'm saying I was busy, I was stressed out and I was irritated, and I had a lot of emotions last week with all the other chaos and things that are going on in my life. It was, I should not have pushed that tutorial out so quickly after the snake tutorial. I should have given myself a little breather. Real talk. Cinnamon Stitches gets stressed out, and I push myself too far. And a couple of you who have been around since the beginning was like, hey, I think a crash is coming for you. And oh, I feel like I'm crashing. I feel like I'm crashing. I feel exhausted. I feel irritable. I feel really moody and like dark in my head, and like, yeah, and my body is physically telling me you need to stop. You've been doing too much. You're just doing too much. Sit down. You're doing too much. So while I was fighting this, This is 8 o'clock at night. Actually, it might have been later than that. I stopped somewhere around 8 or 9 o'clock after I did homeschool and immediately moved into the poncho, filming, crocheting, cooking dinner in between. Like, I was doing it all day. I was working, okay? And if you don't think this is a job, I'm telling you, I was like under the pressure of my own stupid deadlines. I gotta get this done by Friday, you know? Gen problem. So I quit at like 8 or 9 o'clock. I'm thinking, I don't even know what time it was. I'm gonna be honest. I sat down on the couch and I'm like, I'm so stressed out. And Mr. Sin was like, why? I was like, because I'm trying to get this done. It's not gonna be done tonight. I wanted it to be done tonight. And I want to make something for fun, but I do not want to touch that thing again. So I came in here and I was like, what yarn can I just play with? And I have 2 buckets. You can come in, Ponyo. Come on. She's scared to come in. She knows she's not allowed in this room. Come here. You want to say hi? She's staring at the window back there. So, oh, you're in. Hi! You came to see Grammy. Come here. Can I pick you up? You want to say, come here. Oh, we have news about Ponyo. We have her DNA test back. She doesn't want to come. She's like, no, don't pick me up. She's in those toddler stages where she just, well, toddler towards, I don't know. She's 4 or 5 months old now, so it doesn't want to be bothered. Like, she just wants to run around and be crazy. Remind me to tell you her DNA results, because they surprised me a little bit. Cue the barking. What was I saying? Good Lord. Welcome to Cinnamon Stitches, where we can't ever keep our brains... Oh, this is what we were talking about. I have 2 buckets over here of bougie fancy wool yarns that are already caked up and ready to go, so that I don't have to come in here and cake anything up when I'm ready. And I know you're not supposed to store wool like that, but my cakes are not real tight, and it's my yarn. So I pulled out this one because the colors interest me. This is KFI Luxury Collection Indulgence, hand painted. I want to say that this is from Hobium, but I could be entirely wrong. And I know nobody has heard about Hobium in a long time. KFI Luxury Collection Indulgence. Well, they have some available on Jimmy Bean's. I did not order from Jimmy Bean's, so I know it ain't from them. It's mostly on Etsy, which means this probably has been discontinued. Yarn.com. Knitting Fever. Is that Knitting Fever? KFI stands for Knitting Fever. It's got to. It's got to. So wherever I ordered this from, I'm assuming it was somewhere made in Turkey for Knitting Fever. All right. I don't know how much I paid for this. I don't know where I purchased it from. I have 2 balls of it in 2 different colors. Yeah, I put it back, so it's still back in there. It's fine. This is color 14, Campo di Rossi. Okay. I don't know if they still make this yarn. It's 100% superwash wool, and it's supposed to be a lightweight 3. It's 240 yards. So I decided to knit a hat. Okay. I knit a hat. It's a very simple hat. It's got, I think I did a 3x3 rib. And I did, I don't know, cast on of 102, I think. 102 divisible by 6. Like I said, my brain is not working. 102, don't clear. 102 divided by 6. Yes. So I did a cast on of 102. I did a 3x3 rib. I pulled out, and I told the story to the members already because it was kind of entertaining. So my drawer for my knitting needles is a mess, okay? I have a lot of loose, because when I'm done, I just throw them back. I put them back in the drawer, okay? I have my little sets of the Chigu, but as you can see, I am missing. They're around here somewhere. They're in a drawer, I have no doubt, in this room somewhere. So I have knitting needles. I am not nearly as careful with my knitting needles as I am with my crochet hooks. There's knitting needles in here. There's a crochet hook in here. Oh, this is knitting needles and Tunisian hooks, which I cannot stand Tunisian hooks. So the knitting needles are mostly loose. That's sewing. So, okay. I reach in here and grab the knitting needles, which at this point, I had them, and I don't actually know where I put them. The last set of knitting needles, here's some more. Here's some in a different drawer entirely. I know the knitters are yelling at me. I know you are, but I know that we all have our dirty little secrets. I just talk about them in person, okay? So I put them down somewhere. I put them in a drawer. I never remember what I did with my needles or my, you know, my hooks. My hooks go right back in the drawer. They're all sorted and nice and neat, okay? Because they're breakable. That's a crochet hook. So she's eating something. It'll be fine. So I grabbed the last set of, now like I said, my eyesight has been pretty bad this week. I'm struggling with seeing even with my glasses on, and so I've been wearing my old glasses because the newer prescription is a little too strong, and it's been making me dizzy and like causing all kinds of issues, headaches, whatever. So I've been just playing back and forth with whatever glasses are working at the moment because my vision is just doing some weird stuff, which I think is a diabetes thing. I don't know. I will have to go to the doctor and have him look, but I am due for my diabetic checkup on my eyes. But everything's fine. It's just from day to day, I don't know how good or bad my vision is going to be or what I'm actually going to be able to see. So I grabbed the knitting needles I thought I used last that are on a reasonable cord that fits around my head, so I know it'll do a hat. And I assumed they were around a 4mm knitting needle because I don't use small knitting. I do not knit skinny yarns. I very rarely knit skinny yarns because it takes forever and I already knit kind of slow. So I would much rather crochet my fancy bougie skinny yarns. It goes faster, it looks pretty, like I'm happy with that. So I grabbed the knitting needles, I'm going, and it's taken so long to get even this far on my hat. And I'm like, what is happening? First of all, I love the colors of this because it's like Superman. Ponyo, what do you got? She's dragging around a backpack. She's all of 25 pounds and she's dragging a backpack through the house. Do I care? Nope, ain't my backpack. Pick your stuff up off the floor, the dogs won't chew it. Ain't my dog, ain't my backpack. So I really like the colors. It's very Superman-ish, and it's very beautiful on little man because he has blue eyes. Both my kids have these beautiful crystal blue eyes. So I really like the way this worked up. Hey, leave Oreo alone. I'm not even going to apologize for how distracted I am because that's just how we work in this world, okay? So I knit the hat, and then when I got towards the end, I came in here to look for double point needles to decrease the top because that's how you knit a hat, okay? I couldn't find double pointed knitting needles that were skinny enough to match the circulars. So I'm looking, and I'm like, there is no way these are smaller than 3.5mm. I've never used knitting needles smaller than 3.5mm. Well, apparently I have because I didn't realize I was working with 2mm knitting needles. You're gonna hear growling. They're wrestling. And Ponyo does the boxer thing. So I made the hat. I was like, oh, it has a really nice, like, dense fabric. It's not like wholly gapey. It's not overly drapey. And I was like, okay, so maybe the 2mm works really good. And I really liked working with the 2mm with the 3-weight yarn, but I don't even crochet with that small crochet hooks. And I was like, what in the world? These are 2mm. Do you know how small that is? That's minuscule. And I would show them to you, but I don't know where I put them. You don't know where I put, I don't know. So I finished the hat and I came and I finished the tutorial for that. This got me over the hump to be able to continue to create, because I was not feeling it. I was like, okay, I have a little bit of yarn left over. So I'm like, I'm going to crochet the same yarn. This is what it looks like knit. Right? This is crochet. I got a little fancy with it. It's just double crochets on the top. It's top down. And then I did shells on the bottom. And it's not big enough to be a proper hat, but it's like a cute little spring hat for, I don't know, like stoners, or, you know, the kind of people that like these little tiny hats that don't actually, it's like touching the top of my ear. So it doesn't actually do anything, but it fits and it's stylish. And if you're that kind of person that you like these kind of little cute like hats that don't really cover your ears or keep you warm, just for style, I mean, it's cute. Hang on. Let's see if I can make myself look a little more seen. Let me put my hair down a little bit. Is that better? No, it makes me look bald. It might be cute with some little bangs. Oh yeah, see, that would look cute with some bangs. Come on, tuck in. Pretend we have bangs, we think. So, it would totally be cute with bangs. We think. So I made that. And then, I'll just leave my hair down because I got 2 more things. Then I pulled out the, I keep wanting to call this the party yarn. It is not the, that's what it reminds me of, is the party yarn. The Joann's Jelly Bean yarn. And because this is the one I worked a swatch out of, I had no problem coming in here and just using it for whatever. Because once again, I needed something to keep my hands and brain occupied without digging into a big project, without stressing myself out, which is just so that I can keep my mental health sane, because crochet very much keeps me grounded, keeps me sane. So I came in here and grabbed the this is not Jelly Bean. Yes, it is Jelly Bean. Alright, it's a 4-weight acrylic yarn from Joann's. It's a Big Twist Jelly Bean. 93% acrylic, 7% polyester. This is the color Superman Ice Cream. And I made a cute little hair kerchief. I have always called these do-rags, and I made a tutorial and called it a do-rag, and I have so many people criticize me for the use of the word do-rag, and then I spelled it wrong, because I spell it D-O-R-A-G, because my dad has always called it a do-rag, because it's to cover up your hairdo or lack thereof, and my dad was bald, so it was extra ironic, which is where I got the word do-rag from. I'm not trying to steal the word D-U-R-A-G. I'm not trying to insult anyone or offend anyone. It's just a rag that goes over your hairdo. My mom used to wear handkerchiefs in her hair to pull her hair back when she was working. And we knew if she had a bandana or a do-rag in her hair, not to mess with her, because she was crazy and she was like cleaning, and she was crazy cleaning. So, that's why I call it a do-rag, okay? Is a hair kerchief, whatever you want to call it, just call it, okay? It's just a corner-to-corner triangle. A triangulo, if you will. I just did corner to corner. I closed off the top with half double crochets. Actually, to close off corner to corner, you have to, in between the blocks, crochet half double, 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 and then single crochet here, and then you close it off by doing the stacked stitches. And then I did half double crochets here, and I did a foundation single crochet for the chain and put a knot in the end, and I made a cute little do-rag. to keep my hair back because it's at that length now where it's getting on my nerves, and I'm thinking about cutting it really short again. And so I really like the way this worked up in the do-rag, like a lot. And I was like, okay, but I really wanted to mix the blue with the pink. So I pulled out the pink, which is the color Bubblegum Babe. Come on, camera. There we go. That's accurate. Blue and pink. So I finished up the do-rag, and then while I was filming the members video, I was crocheting this. And this was going to be a hat. However, I was not enjoying it, and I was watching a spy movie with Mr. Cinnamon, and we were watching it and talking about how inaccurate all of the things in the spy movie was. And criticizing it. I was getting irritated with the movie because I'm like, this movie I actually think it's a series. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, nothing that has happened in the show is making any sense. It is so highly inaccurate. And it was actually more irritating than it was entertaining to me. He was watching it because he likes that kind of stuff. But, like, And so I was crocheting on this, and my whole idea, it's upside down, was to make the chevron. Okay, I wanted the whole hat to be chevron. Well, I got to the second blue row here after the pink, and I was like, I do not like this. My stitch count kept messing up. I was not enjoying it. The movie or TV show or whatever it was irritating me a little bit. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to change it. We're going to do a shell row after that. And then that was about the time when I came in here and realized I didn't film a members video this weekend. So I came in here and I was working on it while I was filming my video. So just this blue section took me about an hour because I was talking. And I got so far, I was like, you know what? This is not going to be a hat because it was looking big. It was looking a little big. And I was like, I'm just going to end it here. I can always finish it off and make it a hat later on. But I was like, it looks really cute as an ear warmer. And it fits good over my head and my hair. It's a little big. It is a little bit big. But it was another finished object. And I got to pair the pink and the blue together. And I still agree that the pink and the blue look really, really cute together with the the jelly bean yarn. So, and I really, really like the way the do-rag came out. I think it's really cute. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I did 13 or 14 rows of the corner to corner. And then I closed off the corner to corner with single, half double, and 2 double crochets to fill in the part, and then I did half doubles on the outside. And then I did a 40 foundation single crochet row on each side for the ties. And then I knotted at the end because I like the way that looks. Come on. See, whatever mode this camera is in is trying to focus on my eye, and that's not, I don't shoot in portrait mode, so I clearly accidentally clicked something while I was changing the batteries. So that is what I have made this week. That is what I have worked on and finished. But then today, I get up, and I'm hot. I'm going to pull my hair up. Today I get up, and I was talking in the members video, because I'm recording this on Saturday, so the members video actually is up right now. So, I was talking to the members that this weekend I don't have a whole lot planned, and with the way that the week went last week with stress and anxiety and depression and, you know, stress. Did I mention stress? I wanted to do something this weekend that was just for me, that was just something to occupy myself, to maybe learn something new. So I pulled out my needle felting kit that I got. This was sent to me in Happy Mail. And I didn't want to make snowmen. So I watched 2 videos, to be exact, and I learned the basic technique of stabbing my wool with this really, really, really sharp needle. I did in fact stab my finger, and there's, see that little hole? Oh, I stabbed it good. But luckily for me, I'm a diabetic. So I felt it, I definitely felt it. It went into the meat. I'm used to poking my fingers. So it wasn't as bad as it could have been. I covered it and we went about our business. Okay. That's the needle. We have wool. We have very mouthy dogs. Hey, it's always Scarlet. It's always her. You're a troublemaker. You're a troublemaker. Nobody likes listening to you yelling all the time. You need to stop. Don't you grumble at me. Go to the doggy bed. Bad girl. Oh, don't you sneeze at me either. You know the dogs do that as a sign of respect. They sneeze at each other to say, hey, like, I'm not going to hurt you. If you ever notice dogs playing wrestling, they go, it's a sign of respect. Like, we're still just playing. Like, I ain't mad. Alright, so I pulled out my wool and I was like, alright, I want to make a sheep. Which I know is like kind of crazy because I don't have a pattern. I don't have a video that shows me how to make a sheep. I know what a sheep looks like. So I'm like, I'm going to make a sheep. I'm going to forget that this is snowmen and that there's actual directions and videos to go along with the snowman kit. And I'm just going to make a sheep because I'm Cinnamon Stitches. And I'm going to make a sheep. I have never needle felted before. I've never been in the same room with anybody that has needle felted that I'm aware of. Like, I'm gonna, for my first project, I'm gonna make a sheep. I'm gonna say it's pretty good for the first try. And I impressed myself, even though I put a hole in my thumb. He's got a little tail. He's got a little black face, because he's got to be the black skin sheep, because I feel very much I am the black sheep of the family. And so even though I only had mostly white fuzz, I still wanted him to technically be the black sheep. So I gave him, I don't know what breed the sheep are with the black face and the white body. I don't know what breed that is, but that's the type of sheep that he is. And I am ridiculously proud of this cute little thing. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. Did I do it right? I have no idea. I made a sheep out of just this crap. Now, how do you needle felt? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you a lesson. You ready? You ball it up kind of in the shape you want it to be, and you put it here, and you just stab the heck out of it. You just stab it, and you stab it, and you stab it some more, and you kind of shape it that way. And it's not difficult if you have a background in, and I know this probably sounds ridiculous, if you have a background in working with clay or like 3D art things, this is not actually difficult. And if you're not good at making something flat into a shape, you're probably going to not enjoy this. I really found it just soothing to stab something repeatedly 100 times. And possibly 500 times, because I don't think that I stabbed it enough, because there's parts that are still kind of soft. But I impressed myself that he actually looks like a sheep. Now, his ears could be a little bit more out. But you can tell that's a sheep, right? And I just want to go squeeze him and cuddle him, and I want to lay in the grass with him. So, I finished that, and I'm like, well, what other colors do I have in here? So I have red, and I have green, and I have black, but I only have like little bits. By the way, it came with finger condoms, this kit did, but they're real tight, and they're hard to work with, and it's hard to feel what you're doing with these on. But after I stabbed my finger, you better believe I put these leather finger condoms on my finger, because that hurt. And I also don't want to get infections in my fingers, because I'm a diabetic, I can get infections, and I don't want to mess with it. It came with a bunch of needles, and it came with, I'm assuming, arms. Actually, these don't show these as arms. What are these for? I don't actually know why the twist ties are in here, because they don't show the twist ties being used. But it's fine. So I came back with my finger condoms this time, and I used some of the red and the black, and there's also yellow and green. Like I said, there's only tiny bits in here, so I gotta be careful how much I use. But one of the videos I watched, the lady made a ladybug, and I made a ladybug. I didn't watch her tutorial while I was making the ladybug, but I kind of watched it while I was stabbing the sheep, which is probably why I poked my finger, because I was trying to watch TV, and you can't watch TV and stab things. That's really dangerous. Those are really sharp needles. But look at how cute this is. Now, I have seen felted things. Is it possible for your fingertips to sweat? Like, oh my God, that made me hot. I have seen cute little felted things at local yarn shops and at the big yarn festival things, right? And the price is always really expensive. And I am not one of those people that criticize. I'm not like, oh God, I would never pay $60 for that, because I don't know what it takes to create those things and create those art and whatever. But it was always just a little too expensive for me to want to buy. And one of the local yarn shops to me actually makes these cute little mushroom diagrams out of felting in little dome glass thing, and they're so cute. And I wanted to buy one for Juju, but they were not cheap. And I've always wanted to know how to do this. I'm sorry, but I think if I can make a sheep, I can make a buffalo, because the only difference between a sheep and a buffalo is the big hump right here, which I think I can manage, because I have a bag of buffalo over there, and some of it is spinning quality and some of it is not. And so I want to take the shorter pieces and felt with them, which is why this was gifted to me, so that I could make use of all of the buffalo, because buffalo is ridiculously expensive. So I'm really, really proud of learning this in about an hour. So, gotta cover my face or it's not. It's a 3D look at it. I could have added legs and antenna, but you get the idea that this is a ladybug. And I happen to love ladybugs because I have a ladybug. I don't know if you guys know that. I have a tattoo on my leg. And the tattoo has a ladybug on it and a rose and my daughter's name, because, I mean, she's my kid. The rose is her birthstone, and my best friend at the time is the one who gave me the tattoo. She was a tattoo artist at the time, and she called Juju Bug, where everybody in my life called her Juju Bee, so she's a bee, but my friend Tab actually called her Juju Bug and would shorten it to Bug very often. She'd be like, come here, Bug, and oh my gosh, she adored Juju. And so we put the ladybug on my leg, and me and Tab actually have almost matching tattoos. She has more kids, so she's got more names in her tattoos. But, yeah, so there's that. Bet you didn't know that. There's 2 dogs in the dog bed. Ponyo is walking back and forth trying to steal things. She has a little piece of gold in her mouth. Ponyo, drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! I gotta get it. It's ribbon. That's dangerous. Hi. That's Grandma girl! Alright, so she's very much still all puppy. She's 4 months old. We're gonna talk about her. So, we bought Juju a DNA test because this is Juju's dog. This is not my dog. She's my grand dog. This is her at 4 months old. She is, I know she looks big. She is 25 pounds. She's half the size Bentley was at this age. And she's smaller than both of the other dogs were at this age. Ma'am. Alright, look right here. Look. Ponyo, right here. Here, look. This is Ponyo. Good girl. Good girl. Alright, you want to go? So if you want to guess before I tell you what her breed is, because we got her DNA results back, and I was actually quite surprised by it. So when we got her, she was this big. She was 5 pounds, and she was already 4 or 5 weeks old, I think. And her brothers let me show you her brothers because I have pictures of them. Now, if you don't know, we fostered her and her 2 brothers. She had 4 brothers all together. And Andy looked like he was a Chihuahua. But he also was kind of too rounded to be a Chihuahua. So there's no way I thought at all that they were Chihuahua. I was like, there's no way. And so my idea is because Pete, which is her brother that we fostered, and her were both brindled, which is the tigery stripey. And then Andy and one of the, so there was 5 in the litter. It was Poncho and the 4 boys. And the 4 boys, so Poncho was brindle and 2 of the boys were brindle and 2 of them were what they call fawn, which is blonde. And everyone was asking, like, what breed are these dogs? I'm like, I don't know what breed they are. All right, so I miss the puppies really bad. Like, I wish somebody would update with how they're doing. So this is Andy. This is one of her brothers. They have a boxer look to them. So I'm like, they gotta be boxer. Lucas thought, this is Pete. This is her brother. They're short. They're really short statured. Like, they all had little legs. They were all really small for their age. And I knew that they had to have something, a brindle breed. That's Poncho and Andy. And I only know it's Poncho because she has a really big underbite. Because her and Pete looked a lot alike. And so I knew that they had to have something in them that was brindled. Now that could have been pit bull, it could have been boxer, but also Poncho does this, which is a boxer trait. They do this. Either when they're fighting, they use their hands a lot, like when they're wrestling, they do this a lot, or they will sit and do this for like please, begging, that kind of thing. And Poncho does that. So I'm like, she's gotta be boxer. Like, boxer's gotta be her #1 trait. Did you put what you think she is in the comments already? Because I'm gonna check. I'm going to give you the answer. Don't change it after I give you the answer. So her DNA results came back because like I said, we bought Juju the test on Black Friday special, which was a really good deal. And let me find the DNA test. It's in here somewhere. Where is it? Downloads. Where did it go? I wonder if I deleted it. It's got to be in my messages with her. So Juju got the results back. There it is. All right. And it said they detected 12 breeds in her DNA. Okay. Now, when I was looking at pictures of different boxer mixes, like, she looks very much like pit bull boxer blend. And a lot of you were like, she's a pit boxer. She's a pit boxer. I'm like, yeah, I can see how she could be a pit boxer. So I'm like, all right, she's a pit boxer, but I'm thinking she's mostly boxer is what I'm thinking. Right? I was wrong about that, by the way. She's not more boxer than anything else. She is only 8% boxer. Couldn't tell. It sounded like Poncho, but it was Oreo. So she's only 8% boxer. She's actually 52%, and this doesn't surprise me, but I really thought the boxer was going to be her dominant genes. She's 52% American Staffordshire Terrier, which is, Scarlet is 100% American Staffordshire Terrier. It's one of the breeds that they label as pit bull. We don't say she's a pit bull. She's either a pitty pie or she's an American Staffordshire Terrier or she's an Amstaff. That's what we call it, because the pit bull thing is actually a slang derogatory term for the dog breeds, because you guys know the history of that, okay? 52% is what Poncho is. She's 11%, so she's more. Boxer's 8%. She's 11% Chihuahua. How you even mix a pit bull and like a Chihuahua, I don't know. But I will also tell you this. Pit bull breeds and Chihuahuas are the 2 #1 breeds that are in our country. most dogs that are DNA tested are either in the pit bull category, which there's several breeds that are under pit bull, or Chihuahua. And she is, so 52% American Staffordshire Terrier, 11% Chihuahua, 8% Boxer, and 8% American Pit Bull Terrier. And she's 4% Bulldog. Now there's a couple other breeds that are in there. It's like 1% this, 1% that, 1% that. But this is saying that her, at least one of her parents, because it's the dominant trait, was 100% American Staffordshire Terrier, which is funny to me because we kept saying she looked like Scarlet. She's almost the same color brown as Scarlet. And I'm going to tell you right now, Scarlet's not going to come up here. I may have a picture of her on my phone. She looks like Scarlet. She resembles Scarlet a lot. Like, she's the same color as her. They kind of act alike. Yeah, here. I know it's blurry, but that's Scarlet and Poncho wrestling. See how they're the same shade of brown? Poncho just looks like her. And it looks like we bred Scarlet, but Scarlet, all of my dogs are fixed. Scarlet cannot be bred, so it's not. Oh, this is a much better picture. Hang on. That's Scarlet and Poncho side by side. And of course Benny is in the picture too. Because they were all on my bed. She resembles Scarlet. So I'm thinking that one of Scarlet's parents probably looked, or one of Poncho's parents probably looked a lot like Scarlet. Because she does resemble Scarlet. She's, I mean, she has more Boxer. It's crazy that she's only 8% Boxer because the overbite that she has reminds me of Boxer. The way she moves, she does this, and one of the DNA results said that she's not going to have a lot of the Boxer traits, like the pawing and the begging. I forget what they call that. There's something, it's called something. She's probably not going to do that. She's probably not going to do this, that, and the other. And I was like, she does everything they said she's not supposed to do because her dominant traits are not Boxer traits, but she's more, her personality is Boxer. She is very much, she's a bully. Like, she picks on other dogs. She also has little dog syndrome, so she does. Okay, so what happened earlier? Scarlet is a protector, all right? And if I were to try to spank one of my own children, Scarlet would no doubt bite me. And I'm perfectly fine with that trait in her because I know that she's not going to let nobody mess with my kids, all right? That's just who she is as a dog. I'm fine with that. I'm not afraid of Scarlet. I know that Scarlet does not have a mean bone in her body, but just don't mess with her kids, right? And so even if we high-five each other, she reacts like, what is going on? Well, earlier, I was messing with Oreo, and Oreo is her mama. She thinks Oreo is her mama because she was a baby. We had Oreo a long time, you know? So I put my hand by Oreo's back and I went, bad Oreo! And Scarlet did that. Oreo's not even over here by me. She's with you. You see, she's checking on Oreo. You see that? She doesn't like that. Don't do that. Don't mess with my Oreo. That's my mama's, right? And so I was just messing with her to see how she was. Right? She was barking at me just like that. And then Bentley barks at her because don't bark at my mom, right? It's a whole thing. So then Poncho, about 15, 20 minutes later, Poncho was laying across my legs on the couch. And I was like, okay, well, if she reacts like that with Oreo, what's she going to do with Poncho? Because she thinks Poncho is her baby. So Oreo's mama's but Poncho's baby, okay? So I went, I'm not going to do it because she's going to come at me. Actually, we're going to do it for demonstration purposes. I went, bad Poncho! She's like in my head. She's just like, don't do that. She just barks at me, okay? I know that if I was legitimately abusing somebody in this house, I deserve to get bit by her because abuse in any form is bad. So I know that some people are going to say that that's a bad trait. Don't teach her. That's just, she's always been like that. She has a strong protective gene and I'm cool with that. The other dogs, like, I'm not scared of that she's going to bite me. I know she won't because she's more scared of me than I am of her. I'm just going to say that. So, she did that, but Poncho was on my lap, and Poncho leaped at her like, don't you do that to Grammy. Like, she headbutted her, and I was just laughing. I was like, that's such a Boxer thing to do. Like, she's like, nope. But I also do know you don't have to warn me. I know that that can lead to dog fights. We don't encourage that. It was just something that happened. And I'm also very wary of, like, I know what to do if the dog's battery died. I was gonna say, I'm not ignorant to the fact that dog fights can happen even within a pack. And I don't encourage that, and I do correct their behavior when they're going at each other instead of the source that's irritating them. So you don't have to worry. I'm not encouraging bad behavior. I think Mr. Cinnamon's home, so I'm going to actually end the video here. But did you guess her breeds correctly? Did you think she was going to be that high of a Chihuahua? All right, they're home. They actually brought Happy Meal. Wanda, Lucas took his gift, so I'm sure he will say thank you. I'm sure he will like it when he sees what it is. So this is from Amazon. This is for Lucas too. Maybe it can be used for art class credit. This is link to how color grayscale will be emailed from. Okay, Lisa Love Bond. That's what it says. So thank you. I will give that to him. It is a robot coloring book. It is very cool. Page left intentionally blank. It says that every other page. Page left intentionally blank. Very cool. Thank you. I will give that to him. I'm sure he will say thank you. So yeah. There's that. But yeah, I am going to end this video. I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to go make some more cute little things because I enjoy that a lot. It is, it helps get my frustrations out by stabbing something repeatedly like that. And it's kind of fun to, now the way that I did it, the way that I saw it in a video, to create the shapes, I just took a piece off and to make something round, I just rolled it like that. And then I started stabbing it into shape. So if you're interested in this at all, and I have other colors and other, I have a lot of fiber that I could play with, but I just wanted to start with this. So I can make lots of other cute little things. I might make some more ladybugs. I also thought about digging in and pulling out some brown and making some mushrooms because I think Juju would like that. Then I need to figure out how to connect them to a base because I don't know how to do that. And I don't think mushrooms will stand up on their own, but I think mushrooms would be fairly easy to do. And I have the red and the white already. And I think that I have brown in my fiber box down there. So maybe I'll work on that. But I found that to be interesting, entertaining. You'll probably be seeing more needle felting on the channel. I am really like widening my horizons with my wool, my experience with different fibers, and not just commercially made yarn at the store that you knit or crochet. I am really trying to expand out into fiber arts in all venues. So if you don't know, if you're new to the channel, if you haven't been around a while, I do know how to weave. I have a very small just peg loom. So I have done that. I kind of lost interest. It was one of my hyperfixations, but I did it for a little while. And then once I was done, I realized, what am I going to do with this that I created? Because I created fabric, but what do I do with the fabric when it's done? Because I had no idea. And I threw it in the closet like a bunch of other stuff that I have worked on that I didn't know what to do with. Because at that point it was a wall hanging and I don't have room on my walls for stuff like that. And then last year I took up spinning. Was it last year or the year before? I learned how to spin on a spindle, like a hand spindle, a drop spindle. And then I was gifted a spinning wheel. So I've been spinning wool into fibers and I really have loved doing that. And then Mr. Cinnamon bought me a carder. So now I'm turning fiber like this into braids and like fiber that I can spin those colors into yarn. And so I'm really digging into that. And now we're doing the wool felting, the needle felting, which is fun. It's fun. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know if it's supposed to be harder than this. I don't know if I took it too far and didn't take it far enough. But I think for a first try, that's pretty good for a little sheep. And I'm really proud of him. Because I had no idea what I was doing. Like, none at all. So, I'm going to give this advice to any of you. If you want to learn or you're interested in anything new, don't be afraid to try. You might mess up. And to some of you who have needle felted for 20 years, you're probably going to look at that and go, oh, that looks terrible. That's okay. It's okay if you think this is ugly. It's a bad first try. Whatever your opinion, I don't care. I'm really proud of this because I had no idea what I was doing. And you can tell it's a sheep. I mean, it's obvious that it's a sheep. Now, at first, I didn't add his little nose outward. It was just kind of flat. And I was like, he looks more like a dog. Like, I think I did something wrong, so I added a little ball and I attached that on there. And I'm kind of proud of it. And I might make some more. And then eventually I'm going to dig into the buffalo. I'm going to stop being afraid to touch the buffalo. Here's my thing with the buffalo. The buffalo is really expensive. And I cleaned it and I combed through it. And now it's this beautiful bag of smelling well. Like, it smells good. Fiber from a bison. And I'm so afraid to mess it up or screw it up that I'm leaving it in the bag and not touching it. And I don't want to do that. I want to actually spin it into fiber. I want to make something beautiful out of it. And I'm afraid to add yarn to it because 100% buffalo or 100% bison is way more valuable than yarn that's mixed. Like, if you go to buy 100%, where's my bison? Is it over here still? Or did I move it? I have a little cake. This is 100% bison that was gifted to me. This is retails for $65 at current market for this little tiny thing. $65. Take that into consideration, okay? And it's 100% bison. It's 217 yards of, I'm guessing, lace weight. It's ridiculously soft. It's beautiful. I want to spin something, but I know that this size mixed with merino wool is like half the price. Am I selling it? No. Do I want to devalue the wool? No. So this is where I'm like, I'm way inside my head way too much in regards to the buffalo. I kind of want to mix colors into it because brown is not my favorite color. And I'm afraid to do that and cheapen the bison, which is stupid because it's my wool. I could always, this is what I could do. I could spin the buffalo and just make brown. And then I could spin something colorful and decide whether I want to apply them together. And then it will be applied buffalo wool. But I'm so afraid to mess it up. And I haven't used the drum carder enough to have enough practice to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do on there, and I'm afraid. And I'm trying to preach to you guys to not be afraid and to just try it. And I'm sitting here terrified to mess up with the buffalo because it's expensive. It was expensive to buy fiber. So I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to say this to myself, is don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid to mess up. So what I need to do is keep practicing on that drum carder so I can actually be prepared to use it with the buffalo and make my own fiber and then spin it into beautiful wool and then crochet or knit it into something beautiful that I can wear proudly, and then go to Culpeper and actually visit a bison farm, because that would be the dream. I could wear the bison on my body while visiting the bison so that they could know that I'm their best friend, because I love them so much. I'm wearing their wool, which I know sounds dark, but they don't shave, they don't kill the buffalo they do kill the buffalo at that farm. They don't kill the buffalo to get the fiber from it. It falls off in the spring. But they do sell buffalo there, and I have eaten buffalo, so I feel bad about that too. But buffalo is delicious. Buffalo burgers are real good. Bison burgers, num nums. Bison steaks, delicious. I want to go to the farm and I just want to look at the bison. I want to talk to them, and I want them to see me and become my best friends. And then I want to ride the bison through the the fields in a big flowy white dress and my little bison. Mental illness does run in my family. I'm joking about most of that in case you don't know, but I do want to go visit the bison, and I want to wear bison on my body while doing so because I think that would be cool. Probably a little weird, but I mean, the people at the farm would appreciate it because they appreciate the bison. They take real good care of their stock, even though they're using them as meat animals. It doesn't mean they're neglected or not taken care of or anything like that. But we're not getting into that discussion on Cinnamon Stitches because you can believe what you believe and I can believe what I can believe, and everything is fine, and we just don't got to talk about it if you have to argue. So with that, I'm going to go sit down and I'm going to figure out some more creatures to turn into. I'm going to figure out some more creatures to create from wool, and I'm going to edit this video probably tomorrow so you can have it by Monday. And I'm going to go sit and finish watching my Patrick Stump podcast, because Patrick Stump, the lead singer of Fall Out Boy, who I'm madly and deeply in love with, is on a new podcast with one of the girls from Daisy Grenade, which is another band. If you haven't heard of Daisy Grenade, go check them out. They have really beautiful voices. And yeah, I'm gonna go watch that podcast. I'm rather enjoying watching him talk. I find him fascinating. And I hope you have a good Monday, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.